So Justin Larson likes to make fun of me and say that I provide weekly updates on Mid Sorcerer because I play the deck a lot. I really enjoy it. I'm always talking to him about it, and he likes to make fun of me for it. But it made me realize it's actually been a while since I had Mid Sorcerer on the channel, so this video is for you, Justin. We're going to play some Mid Sorcerer. This is the most recent version that I'm running that you see on the screen. I do tinker with Sorcerer often. I've got a bunch of the decks posted on Legends decks. More Mid Sorcerer lists than any other deck archetype, which is again why Justin likes to make fun of me, but the one you're seeing on screen right now is the one that I've been running. So we're going to take it for a spin for a couple of games and see how we do. We definitely would like to find a 3-drop here. Alright, we did in fact find a 3-drop. So we're going first against Warrior. Warrior might be our toughest matchup, or at least it's going to be pretty close to it. Simply because they have a very similar game plan, but theirs features more reach than ours because of Sower and things like Wood Orc Headhunter. It's very important that we try to control the board. The only time that this ends up not being true is in the case where we are matched up against like Doomcrag Warrior. So they could surprise us and be playing like Doomcrag or some control variant. Rapid Shot makes that seem pretty likely. Alright, that gave us a fair amount of info.
Your blood will spill!
We're gonna put Daggerfall over here, but subsequent creatures are probably going to Shadow. When you're playing against Doomcrag, you want to be able to use the Shadow lane to kind of hide a bit, because then they have to use their ping effects and not their charge creatures to take advantage of getting rid of your threats. In this case, the warded creatures are not really a big deal. But, interesting.
Sheol take you. Face me, you dog.
We're gonna go ahead with the Shade here. Only because I drew the Shadowfen. I think my game plan might have been different if I had not drawn this, but with the Shade, if they ping this... Alright, so Fel the Mighty gets rid of it, but if they pinged it, then Shadowfen could have just kept it alive anyway. We're going to Tome here first, because if they are running Doomcrag and they have a Sharpshooter Scout, we don't want to run into that Prophecy and have it kill our 2-1. Interesting. Makes me almost feel like this might be not Doomcrag, but then we see the raiding party. These Treeminder is sometimes seen, Fel the Mighty sometimes seen. Yeah, these are definitely telling me this is a Doomcrag variant.
We'll see how they like someone who fights back.
And we're gonna get to play Worm King's Agent for some value. But not this turn, next turn. This will definitely be worth something. There will be little guys floating around. You can bet on that.
The power and all the trappings of being a king look like
Worm King is probably fine here.
hard work.
High King Emmerich's a fantastic pickup for us because it's a big body with ward. Those Shadowfens are going to be very nice for... Wow, for a number of reasons here, huh?
Hold still.
We care far more about denying him from cards than I think the life totals.
On your guard, mongrel pup.
Let's attack with this one. Because again, if they run into a Sharpshooter, we don't want to lose potential damage output.
You must be cleansed.
Actually, he's got a fair number of cards in hand at this point. Let's deny the health. And Let's also
Careful there,
ward up
friend.
here as well. Ward our big bodies. The important body there is High King Emmerich, but even if the Shadowfen survives, we've got a shot because of Satanine providing just a little bit of extra reach that a lot of times is not accounted for.
I smell the stench of the
All right.
living.
Time to fight.
That's legitimate. It's a lot of guards. A lot of guards by our opponent. So how do we want to tackle this? Probably are just going to end up using Worm King here because we don't have an effective way to go through all of those guards and get lethal this turn. So if that's the case, I think we want to preserve as much on these guys as possible, because if they've not found a Doomcrag, then it's easier to keep them alive.
This world will be well
So
rid
this will
of
go
you.
here.
Mother of mud.
This will go here.
You've not seen my like.
Let's do it like this. We don't have the guard over here, but there is not really a good way to make that happen unless we decided to instead sacrifice this. But at this point, like, any of the creatures surviving represents lethal. So we're okay with that.
We must protect our stronghold.
It's an awful lot of our
Waters of life.
creatures at 3 health. But again, we only need one to find its way home.
This was a worthy
Satanine
contest.
plus the lightning bolt. And there we go. Alright, so that's a pretty solid win for us against Doomcrag Warrior. Get some game rewards, and then we'll jump into another game. Just for you, Justin. Just for you. So hopefully should have some fun videos coming in the near future. I think I've decided that I want to record a game on mobile, at least one game. I've had some people ask me, like, what's the experience like on mobile, because I'm one of the people who actually has the game working for them on mobile. So I think I'm going to do that. I've recorded some other mobile games in the past. I have the software to do it. It's just kind of a pain because I have to do the voiceover after the fact.
Be welcome.
It's also been a bit since I've done like Aggro Warrior, so I think that could be fun. Alright, so we are going first again, this time against Crusader.
Orcs at the ready.
I'd feel a whole lot better about this matchup if we had
Come bearing gifts.
like a Barrow Stalker or two. But we're gonna do the
Hold
best
them
that we
back,
can.
Scourge Stumpet. Sniveling coward.
That is a Morkel Gatekeeper. Not much I can do to get in there.
Violence.
Not much I can do to get in there, so we'll go ahead and do that. What other stuff might we have? Oh, I had some people ask, I know it's shocking, but there were people who wanted to see other conscription videos, so, conscription Daggeth might be on the docket in the near future.
Watch yourself now. I keep a spare blade in my boot.
Really tempted to equip this dagger here now, just for efficiency reasons. Because I got a feeling I'm going to be using most of my magicka for the next 2 to 3 turns. But I don't really want to equip it on the 2-1s, and equipping it on this one, they might just charge right into it. Feels bad. Just kind of feels bad sitting there, but we're playing for the board more than anything right now, so...
I only need one shot.
Yeah, see, it would have just been eaten. Would have been a feels bad moment. Now our choice is we can still play the dagger with a haunting spirit, or we can play the dagger with a corrupted shade.
Your blood will spill! Don't underestimate me.
I think I like the dagger with a corrupted shade, just because it sets up a more, potentially more impactful High King Emmerich turn. This next turn. If we need to nuke something with slightly more health.
They're bleeding. Don't let up.
Alright. So they get a Marauder.
Come at me!
In case you were wondering, yes, we definitely want the extra ward damage from that. That works out very well for us. This can go ahead and make this trade here. This can go ahead and make this trade here.
Being a king may look like fun.
High King can go ahead and do this as well, and then we'll push our damage.
I will have your head.
Cloud Rest Illusionist is really the only prophecy that we're fearing there, and I don't think we feared enough to not push. We took control of the board. We have some pretty large bodies and reach, and I think our opponent sees the writing on the wall there and gives the old concede. So, yeah, this one was for you, Justin, but Mid Sorcerer, it turns out, still pretty good. It's awfully consistent for me. I'm not going to say it's the greatest deck in the world. I don't think it's the best in the current meta. It's not bad in the current meta. I think it's a good, solid tier 2, right? Like, you could easily use Mid Sorcerer to get to Legend, but I still enjoy playing it. It's one of my favorite deck archetypes because, you know, quite frankly, Legends is a game about fighting for control of the board, right? Like, playing creatures, making them fight each other in battle seems kind of like a little thing, but it's what the game is based on. Taking advantage of the lanes, etc., etc. So, yeah, I've always liked it. Anyway, if you made it this far, thanks for watching. Until next time, may you walk on warm sands.